Hello, and welcome to this roundup of my 5 favorite romance novels that I read this month. I'm Olivia, your new favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot, and you're watching Random Olive Reads. As usual, I've listed these books in alphabetical order by author last name. First up is Insatiable by Darcy Burke, which is book 8 of the Phoenix Club series. This is the final book of the series, and we finally get to see our meddlesome club owner Lucien meet his match. With a scandal and drama that closed out the end of book 7, Lucien is at risk of losing the exclusive club based on the intervention of some anonymous patrons from the Foreign Office. However, it seems like there's a bit more danger behind the scenes. Meanwhile, his friend's younger sister, Kat, has decided this is the season that she'll dedicate more research into the mating habits of people. Kat is bookish and socially awkward, and she's kind of ostracized from her hometown because she connived to kiss an engaged man just to see what kissing's all about. She gets overwhelmed by crowds easily, but she is comfortable and attracted to Lucian. She asks Lucien for assistance in her research, and he can only resist for so long because he finds her honesty and directness really attractive. I really enjoyed this book. It was a great ending to the series. Next, I dug deep into the backlist of Elizabeth Hoyt. So we have The Raven Prince, which is book 1 of the Prince's trilogy. We have an impoverished widow from the village, Anna, who takes a job as the local grumpy earl's secretary. Edward, the current earl, has survived but is scarred from a smallpox outbreak that killed his whole family. So, tragic backstory there. The first half of the book moves pretty slowly with our two people getting to know each other, conversing about land management and agriculture, things like that. And as their attraction for each other grows, Edward sort of seeks a little release at a brothel in the city to work out his issues. Anna somehow schemes to hide her identity and have him bed her instead of a courtesan. So she's keeping the secret, he doesn't know it's her. With their differences in social class and Edward's desire to have a proper marriage and children, a marriage is pretty much impossible between these two, especially since Anna had been married previously and never had any children. Every so often, we'll get to see the point of view of like other characters in the story, like the estate steward, the squire's wife, some hired busybody. It adds some interesting perspectives to the overall plot, and we kind of read about potential pitfalls and schemes from outsiders. With Anna's big secret about her being in disguise at the brothel looming overhead, we're just waiting for the fallout and the angst that will come with it. The Lady Gets Lucky by Joanna Shoup is book 2 of the Fifth Avenue Rebels series. So, about half of this book takes place at the same Newport, Rhode Island house party as book 1 of the series. So, it's fun to read those two back to back. In this one, we have a shy and quiet Alice who asks scoundrel Kit for lessons in seduction so that she'll be able to find a husband who wants her for more than her impressive dowry. She's got a terribly overbearing mother, definitely needs to get out from under her thumb. Meanwhile, Kit has already been warned away from the innocent debutantes at the party, so he is hesitant to help her, even though he was instantly attracted to her offer. When Kit finds out that Alice is friendly with a famous chef who he's trying to hire for his new supper club, he wants a way to buy those recipes. Now, Alice is a shrewd negotiator, so it looks like she'll get her seduction lessons after all. Reading these two flirt with each other was so fun. Alice learns a bit more confidence, and Kit turns into someone a little less sure, a little less suave, but a lot more honest. And I really enjoyed this one. Even if you didn't read the other books in the series, this one is still a lot of fun. Next, we have In Which Matilda Halifax Learns the Value of Restraint by Alexandra Vasti. It is book 2 of the Halifax Hellions series, and you can get this book for free on the author's website by signing up for her email newsletter. There is so much going on in this book that it's hard to summarize it all in like kind of one line. Matilda is a twin and scandalously known as one of the Halifax Hellions. She and her sister Margot have a reputation of behaving outrageously and getting into trouble. However, Matilda has a secret that no one knows about. She draws naughty pictures and sells them to printers who put together erotic pamphlets. Christian, who is a widower, finds himself the subject of these naughty drawings and confronts Matilda. He has his own problems with scandal and speculation since he was like rumored to have murdered his wife. Matilda is apologetic and wants to make it up to Christian, but he won't allow it. They kind of go back and forth a bit. There's a bit of letter writing that's really cute. She finally wears him down and convinces him to let her come to his home to serve as a painting tutor for his younger sister, and they set off on the road. Matilda leaves a note for Margot to say that she's eloped, hoping that she won't be followed. We see Margot's perspective in the previous book of the series, also free from the author's newsletter. So from there, we have like an easygoing road trip, confrontation with Margot, a rescued cat, arrival at a dusty castle, a reluctant sister, and after all these things that happen, we finally have an honest conversation with Christian. This book will keep all the pages turning for you. Definitely one of my favorites of this month, clearly, because you want so badly to find out what happens next. And then add to that a little bit of like dominant submission um, happening between Christian and Matilda, and it makes for an interesting read. Lastly, I'll talk about Get Thee Off My Lawn by Daria Vernon. It is a standalone novella available on Kindle Unlimited. This one is humorous and absolutely delightful. April tries to retrieve her wayward swan from the neighbor's pond and finds herself entrenched in the muck and needs rescuing by the handsome neighbor Leo. The rest of their day is a very fun little carefree insta-lust tryst involving sneaking into his manor to clean her up. There's some bath time shenanigans and basically enjoying each other's company until April needs to get home for supper. And then reality hits. April is supposed to marry a wealthy stranger to save her household's wealth, and there's pretty much no hope of a future with Leo, and she didn't really expect him to be like a serious suitor anyway, even though he's totally smitten with her. It all gets resolved in a pretty short order since it is a novella, and it's resolved in a pretty fun and surprising way. This one is a quick read that is completely worth it. I highly recommend it. It was a great month of reading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Links to all of it books I've talked about are in the description box. Like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.